Hi everyone, it's Michael from Ants South Africa. I'm so excited to actually bring this video to everyone. We'll be showing our Myrmicaria natalensis colony, commonly known as the natal droptail ant. Now, this is quite a new species for us on the channel. I've had this colony for roughly a month, and I can't explain what ferocious eaters these are. They eat almost anything I give to them, including insects and vegetation, being now like lettuce or some vegetables, which, interesting enough, in nature they're known to actually have foliage around the outside of the nests. So one of the ways that you can actually spot the droptail ant nests. Now, what makes this species so very special, besides it being mainly found in the southern Africa continent, is that you will see their gasters are actually pulled underneath their bodies. Now, for those of you that don't know what a gaster is, the gasters basically refer to the tail part of the ant, so the little abdomen part, what people call it and whatnot. So basically, ants now, if they're threatened, they will spray what they call formic acid. Now, this will usually be used to spray on either prey items or threats to the nest or to the ant itself. So what's unique about droptails is they keep the gaster almost permanently pulled in underneath them, almost ready to spray formic acid. Now, it's going to be feeding time, and I'm actually quite excited to show this because they're actually quite ferocious in the way that they eat their prey. Now, I do feed them now at the moment predominantly mealworms. For those of you that are worried about the chopped up mealworm, I have pre-killed the mealworm before the time, before I cut it up. Now, I'm usually feeding these ants or the colonies now about a mealworm and a half every 2 days. But what I've noticed is that this is almost not enough. So I'm going to start feeding now larger quantities of food, and I want to change the protein source a bit more. I'm going to start feeding them some egg yellows, which they actually seem to love. Now, one little experiment I do want to try is high protein fish flakes. It's frowned upon and then it's suggested by some ant keepers, because the science is there that the fish flakes should actually be quite beneficial for the colony. But the main problem that I can foresee is that the fish flakes is generally, well, not generally, always too dry. So we might have to experiment there a little bit. And there's a nice little close-up on the beautiful queen. I must say she is quite large. The only other queen that I do have that rivals her size is the Camponotus maculatus queen. And it's actually quite fascinating to see how the colony will actually swarm over prey. Now, this is a still just before the queen decided that she wanted to also chomp a bit at the mealworm. And I've actually seen her do this a few times, that she'll get involved with regard to the eating. Because usually how it works in an ant colony is that workers will generally feed on the prey or food item, and then they will transfer over the food that they've ingested over to either other workers or mainly the queen. Now, this process is called Trophallaxis, which is now the transferring of food from one worker to another or to the queen. And let's not forget the larvae. Now, an interesting fact about droptail ants is that they're actually very competitive with neighboring colonies, and they're actually known to what we call soil dumping. Now, this is basically the colony digging an excess amount of ground up and then dumping the soil or the substrate on a neighboring colony. So in that process, suffocating the colony. So it's a very interesting fact when I learned this about the droptail ants in nature. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do leave a like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. I will be posting a little short snippet like I did with the Droptail on the next colony that I'll be showcasing, and I'm quite excited for that. Thanks guys. Enjoy.